Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 24. In the last episode, we beat the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Really, it was a very good game overall, and as you're going to see here on the weekly awards, it actually got us the Offensive Player of the Week with how Bryce Young did. I mean, 15 of 16 for 362 pass yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 2 carries for -2 yards. So I'm really getting into the feel of things, I feel more with Bryce Young now. I am trying not to force the ball too much, and I'm willing to take a sack when need be or try to scramble as best I can. But I think that he's really coming into his own on the team, which is great. And the running game also showed up more this week, which really helps because really a lot of my pass game is based on that play action pass. Now, with that being said, this week we're going to be at Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers, so that'll be a great rivalry game there. Always fun. I did want to discuss a little bit about what's going on in the real world right now, and that is the fact that the Panthers lost again this week to the Titans. And with that loss, the news that's making the rounds right now is the fact that the owner was very upset after the game. He was heard saying the F word as he was leaving the locker room and such, so I think he's very upset about how things are going. I don't feel the same as he does, and I hope that he sort of calms down and thinks things through. With him sort of sounding that way, I think it's problematic because of the fact that I really am concerned he's going to fire the head coach, make some drastic changes that really I don't feel like the team should be doing yet. I feel like too many people have forgotten what it takes to build a franchise anymore. You don't just pop in some players for 1 year, go to the Super Bowl, and that's it. That's not the way it should be done, and it's really not the way the Panthers are going about things right now. There are going to be these growing pains, and I'm okay with that. I hope that the owner, when he sort of takes a break, thinks about it a little bit, will realize that as well, and will hopefully come to the realization that things are on the right course. Yes, it's a rough year. I get that. It's probably hurting him financially. I get that as well. But he just needs to work through it. Hopefully, the coach and the team can get him a couple more wins to make him happy for this year, because I really do see things turning around quite well for the team if they just keep the core players that they have right now. But now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and see if my Orlando team can stay undefeated as we travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Well, just as I was about to jump in and go ahead and start the game for the week, a headline popped up on my phone and I figured I better cover this. I don't feel like reshooting the beginning of the video because nothing has changed in what I said. But the reality is, Frank Reich is no longer the coach for the Carolina Panthers. This is due to the owner choosing to fire him effective immediately. The special teams coach will take over as the interim head coach, and the offensive coordinator, I believe, will take over play calling duty. Quite frankly, I'm going to be blunt in what I have to say here, and probably it's going to be upsetting to some people. This is actually why I think I'm doing a better job as the owner on the Madden game than the actual owner is doing in the NFL. Um, First of all, I think moving the team to Orlando is actually a great decision. Carolina, wonderful place, great fan base. I have nothing against them, but the fact of the matter is, Orlando is a place where you could get a large fan base because of the tourism industry that is there year round. I think that's a decision that should be looked at by a team. Whichever team decides to do it, my bet is going to be on Jacksonville. I think they're the ones that might actually end up doing it. But whoever does is going to be really intelligent in doing so. They're going to win big on that financially, just the way I think the Raiders are going to win over time by being in Las Vegas. Time will test if I'm right on that or not. But also on this coaching decision. My point on this is, what are we doing now? Okay, great. You didn't like how Frank Reich had handled things. You didn't like the fact that we were only 1 in 10. Now what? Are you going to also get rid of the draft picks that he had? Because personally, those draft picks aren't bad players. They need time to grow, just as the entire team did under Frank Reich. It is very rare for a coach to be fired in their first season with a team, particularly before the season's even over. I really just feel like this is the owner being very overly emotional. And I have to say, for my own emotions, I'm sort of depressed right now. This was the first season in a while that I've been really happy about where the Panthers were going. Yeah, I know it was a rough season so far, but firing Frank Reich right now isn't going to change that. I would be shocked now if we actually won a single game after this. And as far as morale goes, the team's morale is probably going to be in the gutter for the rest of the season. Many of these players will probably ask for trades. People like Bryce Young and such are going to be there like, why am I going to stay with this team? I mean, I came here under these ideas, and they don't even keep the head coach through the first season, so what do they think of me as a person? That's a valid point, I think, that he's going to have to think about for himself. And really, it all falls back on the owner. This is not a general manager issue. This is not a coach issue. This is really an owner who I think has made an enormous mistake here. A lot of the focus always goes to two owners in the NFL, the one for the New England Patriots and the one for the Dallas Cowboys. And both of these owners have gained notoriety over the years for a number of reasons. But in both cases, and that I will say does, in my opinion, include uh, Dallas Cowboys, the owner does allow the coach to make some decisions. Yes, to a point, he is controlling over there in Dallas, but in the past, he has allowed people like his head coach, Jimmy Johnson, and such, when he was there, to make decisions and build a franchise that made them into America's team. We've also seen negative owners in the past, like the Raiders owner, I would feel, who has really been overly controlling and brought in players and such that he liked, but didn't make a lot of sense for the team. And the team floundered at points because of that. The years that the Raiders have been successful, he has taken more of a hands off approach. And I think over the time, that has been something that they've learned, and the Raiders franchise is becoming better for it. Now, they just had a coach that they needed to get rid of. And there, I think that was a good coaching change. He didn't add anything to the Raiders. But for Carolina, as I said, this decision for me is just sort of depressing. I sort of feel like, okay, where are we going now? The only thing I will say, the only positive I see out of this is there's one coach in particular who I'm a big fan of that might be willing to go up to the NFL level this next year, and maybe Carolina would be positioned in a place to get him. And that is Harbaugh, who is the head coach over at the University of Michigan. Now, for those who follow college football, he has had some controversy this season. I also am a big Michigan Wolverines fan. I was happy when the 49ers decided to get rid of him and he was able to go to Michigan. It really improved the Wolverines, and we've seen that over the last few years as they've made it to the playoffs. They've won the Big Ten championship. It's been a great thing. Personally, I have to say the Michigan Wolverines team they have this year might be one of the best that has ever been at this school. Whether or not he's coaching those games for the playoffs and stuff like that, I have a feeling that Michigan really has a good chance of winning the national championship this year, unless the NCAA decides to try to put some new regulation on them because of the whole sign stealing situation. With that being said, maybe this is a great opportunity here because of the fact that Harbaugh might be frustrated with the handling of things at the NCAA level, and he may want to go back up to the NFL level. I thought he was a great coach when he was at San Francisco. I thought they were foolish to get rid of him the way they did, and I would love to see him in Carolina. That being said, that's the only glimmer of hope I see out of this whole situation. And that's still not a knock on Frank Reich. I think that he was doing a great job. I just sort of don't. Well, I guess I do understand what the owner wants. The owner wants to go to a Super Bowl this year. And that's sort of his mentality, I think. He wants to go to the Super Bowl next year. And he'll want to go to the Super Bowl the year after that. And to be blunt, he's acting like a child. He's acting like a spoiled child who wants his present right now. He's not willing to wait for it. And as long as that's the mentality that the Panthers have, I'm going to stay a fan because I do care for the team. But I'm not sure we're even going to make it to a Super Bowl again, let alone win one, if that's the owner that we have in charge. My greater hope is possibly that he'll get frustrated overall. Maybe he'll drop a few more F-bombs or say another word that he shouldn't say, and then he'll be out with the Carolina Panthers, and we might get an owner that actually cares about the team. So now that I've gone on that little rant, I do apologize for it taking up some time, but I felt like I had to cover this issue. With that being said, as I said, in the game, I'm the owner of the team. I'm going to make decisions, especially at this point, that I feel are in the best interest of the team. And first and foremost, I have no intention of firing Frank Reich from my team right now. We're going to keep him. He's good for right now. If we get an owner for next year, maybe I'll get Madden 25. Or if we get a coach for next year, maybe I'll get Madden 25. And we'll see how that goes. But for right now, Frank Reich is still the coach for the Orlando Panthers. With that being said, let's jump into the game against Tampa Bay and see how things go.
It's week 13 of the National Football League, and we'll see Bryce Young. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Panthers and the Buccaneers. All that and more coming up next.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Panthers of Orlando taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. But you look at this defense. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. A pretty nice effort.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. Opting to run again here with White. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
A lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Play fake. Mayfield. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On second down, they'll run with White. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Mayfield. Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. They'll try the right side here with White. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Tackled by the corner, C.J. Henderson. This a 2nd and 8. Going right side is White. And he'll be out of bounds. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Burns, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And his kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the #1 overall pick this year, Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama, Bryce Young.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, I've been reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. 52.
Young off the play fake. He'll get this to the rookie, Jonathan Mingo. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They go play action. Young. Flushed out right. This is caught. And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Sanders is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bucs will take over possession here up at the 44. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Evans has it left side. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw complete to Otten. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3.
He's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. To throw, Mayfield. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Short throw to the tight end, Thomas. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Off the play fake, Young. He's got Mingo. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shifts by him at the 25. Still fighting for more. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Miles Sanders. That's his 18th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it. Down by 2 scores. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's White. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing, Mayfield. Over the middle to Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield's throw on target to Godwin here. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal. Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. Chris Olave, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Jets trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Keenan Allen, a touchdown reception. In that first half, we saw the veteran Miles Sanders doing his thing. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. Second half straight ahead from Raymond James Stadium. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. So for the call, let's get back over to Tampa and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Here comes Marquez Stevenson now from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Here we go.
On play action, Young. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Buccaneers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They stay on the ground with White. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Jonathan Mingo, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Yetur Gross-Matos from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield now. He completes this to Russell Gage. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. They'll go up the middle with White, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And we'll pause here for an injury. I believe that's a running back. Yeah, that's Rashad White, who's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. And this defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Oh, some strong running. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go again with Sanders. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who was shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26.
Check deep.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs' 20-yard line. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Young. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. A 2nd down throw for Young. Throw left side on target to Thielen. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
It's Young off play action. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. The play fake. Now Young out to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Young to throw it. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Mingo with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the gun, Mayfield. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. This is White. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Young off the play fake. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown! Hayden Hurst, 45 yards. And the Panthers are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs ready to take over once again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Airing this one out for Evans. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown! Mike Evans, 75 yards. And the Buccaneers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That goes for a gain of 31.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Sanders. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Panthers stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. First down, Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Completes it again to Gage. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. First down, here's White. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 45 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Mayfield on first down. Complete right side to Otten. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's fourth down. Desperation time. Mayfield on fourth down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Mayfield with it once more. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. One last shot from Mayfield here. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
And they will take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Panthers, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon